So everything in the body is going to start and stop with energy. So if we wanted a simple way to understand aging, an important part of this is going to be whether or not our cells are producing energy and how our cells are communicating within one another and with their environment. This is very, very basic to the field of anti-aging and age reversal and biology in general. And this starts in an area of the cell called the mitochondria. Now, in order for our cells to make energy, we need water. And in order to facilitate the removal of normal metabolic wastes and environmental toxins, we also need water. As we age, the size of the cells begin to decrease and the ability of the body to hydrate the cells diminishes. And when we as a company, when we're looking at age reversal mechanisms, one of the important things we look at is how can we keep the cells hydrated? Because if we can keep the cells hydrated, it's going to optimize the electrical and magnetic environment in the cell and can restore youth, or it can help extend lifespan. So water is going to play an incredibly important part in this. So when we think about sleep, it's really just an extension of every single thing that we're doing. So it goes hand in hand with proper nutrition and proper rest. So without proper hydration, the cells can't make energy, they can't make hormones, we can't sleep. Anabolic is a state of building up and catabolic is a state of tearing down. So one way we can think about this is that when we're exercising, when we're making new cells, this is part of tearing the old cells down, breaking things down. That's catabolic. Anabolic is building things up. People sometimes associate that word with steroids, but it's really more, in this case, it's more in reference to the process of the body's ability to repair itself. And about 80% or so of anabolic metabolism building up is going to be occurring at night. So we want to be able to optimize that amount of time. Not too much, not too little, just try to get it in that right zone, which is 7, 8, 9 hours per day. Sleep is also a preventative measure, and we don't often think about it this way, but good quality sleep has been linked to the prevention of different health disorders like Alzheimer's disease. So, for example, when people don't get enough sleep, they can accumulate a protein in the body. It's called beta amyloid 2, and it's been shown that this protein is closely associated with Alzheimer's. When you're not getting enough sleep, this can lead to increase in stress. This can elevate cortisol, and this can make it much more difficult for the body to not only build muscle, but the body goes into a state of stress, and now we're going to have a tendency to store more body fat. So that's not going to be very good. Whereas on the other hand, if we're getting enough sleep, now not only are we reducing our stress hormones, but now we're giving our body more time to be in anabolic metabolism and building up lean muscle. This will surprise some people, and this is the amount of light that is in your room. So surprisingly, even very, very small amounts of light can inhibit the production of melatonin. So we want to sleep in a room that is as dark as possible, as quiet as possible. And this really goes to another thing that's so interesting about this is, of course, this shows the role that light plays in our health. Of course, all of our Lifewave members know that you can stimulate the body with our patches with very low levels of light and produce some very powerful results. Well, here we show that the production of light, or stimulating the body with light, can actually inhibit the production of melatonin and inhibit the ability of the body to enter into sleep. So these are some of the many things that we can be paying attention to. The good news is that for people that are having a hard time sleeping, There are so many resources. There's so many different things that they can do to improve the quality of their sleep. So that's the good news, is that we don't have to rely on drugs. But what's important here is that we found out that when people were using silent nights, there was an average increase in this group of 66%. And the statistic, the p-value is 0.001. So essentially that means that we hit statistical significance on this by a very wide margin. And so in this study, things like the quality of sleep and the length of sleep were being measured. So it basically shows that if someone is having a problem with the quality of their sleep, the amount of time that they're sleeping, silent nights would be a good place for them to start. It's substantiated clinically, and it produces a very powerful effect within the first week of use. We used a device in our lab called the biopulsar to actually see that, and also electrointerstitial scanning. And we actually saw that the Alavita patch will increase the bioelectrical activity in the frontal lobes of the brain. So it's not just anecdotal. When people say they have very intense dreams, we can actually see this bioelectrically. So yes, you can definitely get a good quality of sleep with Alavita. It works differently than silent nights. And to your point, it's all up to the individual.